Now, we've done another podcast, which I'll link down below, about soul contracts because one of my clients um, was contracted not to have children in this lifetime. And so if you guys want to listen to that, you can go down below and listen to those. But really, there's been times where you've mentioned spirit babies, and then there's times that you don't mention spirit babies. So first of all, let's just get into why you believe spirit babies are hanging out with us anyways. Like what's going on there?
Yeah, so I everybody uses the term spirit babies because they can't unhook from the fact that we are all souls and we're all souls that come and do many, many different lifetimes. So when they're in this body in this life, they tend to get kind of stuck in that idea, thinking that the normal progression of a soul is to be born, to live, and to die. And usually, most people don't take it too much farther than that. And so, then the natural evolution of a thought is well, if you are born, then you must be a baby. And so, that whole idea of spirit babies then is like where you begin. Is it a term that I use out of necessity? Yes, it's like the colloquialism, but if I'm being very honest, if I'm talking to somebody who has been working with me for a long time, what I end up saying is that we're souls that make contracts with each other, that say, I want to do life with you and I want you to be this role in my life, in this particular life, right? And that particular life can be happening now, it could be happening in 1940, it could be happening in 2189, right? So have a much broader take on what equates to life than maybe the normal average person who was walking on the street. So that would be the reason for why I think that's spirit babies, where you're going to use that term out of ease, exists, is because we exist. And so, for if you believe that your child, right, if you're one of those lucky people to have children, maybe multiple children, you have probably realized that they are very different from you, that they have a very different personality from you, and that if they have siblings, have very different personalities from those siblings. So, um, there are many of us, many, many souls, and that's why I think that they do exist.
Yeah. Yes, I can 100% confirm that they are completely different. And, I have a early education background and degree, and, there's very, very much talk. Is it nurture? Is it nature? And all that kind of stuff. And how can people live in the same household and become so different? And my boys are close together. They're just over 2 years apart. And me and my brother are 14 months apart. And, I can 100% guarantee you, no matter how close your children are, you're raising them differently. Even if it's not like a conscious difference, and I have 2 boys, right? So we're not even talking about the sexes, you could easily say, "Well, you were a girl and he was a boy, so of course you're raised different." You just raise your kids differently, and I think that, not getting too involved in that, I think it's a good thing because, like you say, they're their own people. So why do you want to treat individuals the same? I mean, obviously they have to have the same rules, in the household, but they're completely different people. And um, I've had a few conversations about my children with very gifted individuals, and without them even knowing, they're like, that boy is like science on a stick, and that boy is Mother Nature in the ground. They're so different. Um, So why I wanted to bring you on about spirit babies was I've had a few clients that you've you've said the spirit babies are there. I've had a few clients where you don't even mention it. It doesn't
Mhm.
even come up. And I haven't asked you why, and I want you to do your own thing, but what's been interesting for me to watch, as the observer and as the mentor of my clients is it almost didn't even seem that that information that the spirit baby was there gave them the extra umph to keep going and keep overcoming the challenges in front of them. And particularly one, the best way I can describe it is, she's, like, given up because there's some circumstances in her life that got really heavy, and instead of using the tools that she has to gracefully move through those, it feels like she's just let 'em all pile on.